Just a few months ago, I was trying different methodologies to create a landing page for my YouTube channel. Design-wise, they all came out average. I used the best model Claude had to offer. One methodology even had a specific design persona to advise on the UI. It didn't work. Later, Anthropic dropped a blog post about improving front-end design with skills. Shortly after, Design OS was released. It's the design counterpart to the Agent OS tool I reviewed previously. I was getting serious about actually launching a single-page website, so I decided to give it a real shot. Let me share what happened. As usual, I'm using Claude Opus 4.5. It's the only decent subscription I've got, and honestly I doubt I need any others for what I am building. Before I even touched Design OS, I had work to do. This time I was going to launch everything for real. It took time to prepare the exact blog descriptions, copy links, images and testimonials. I took my previous input markdown files as sources, but went through dozens of refinement steps before it looked like ready to use spec. This is important. Design OS isn't magic. It works best when you come prepared. With the specification and images ready, I cloned the Design OS repo and ran a couple of bash commands as per instructions. In the future, it would be nice to have a setup script for this. Manual steps get tedious. The official video is very informative, so I'll go over the next steps fast. The process breaks into two phases. First, you run foundational commands once. Then you iterate over sections until everything is designed. You run /product vision to document the basics about what you're building. Then /product roadmap to break it into manageable sections. /data model to define main entities. This one is most applicable for web apps, but even a landing page can use it. /design tokens to generate design primitives like colors and fonts. And /design shell to generate the static parts visible on all screens. I asked it to include the landing header and footer in the shell. For most of these commands, I simply included my spec and asked Claude to find the answers there. Most of the time, it was enough. When the shell section was ready, I entered the real design loop. Shape a section with /shape section. Generate sample data for the models with /sample data. Design the screens with /design screen. Prompt it until happy with the result. The good part? I could preview sections using the Design OS web UI. I even glued them together under the shell view to see how the landing page would look as a whole. It always required iterations, sometimes more, sometimes less. With experience from other methodologies, I didn't expect a miracle. I knew it would require effort and time. But then the first sections came together. The typewriter effect on the headline, the cat silhouette in the background. This is beautiful. I don't use that word lightly for AI-generated designs, but it genuinely was. Later, the community section with that moon image above the counter, the animated slider with testimonials. I kept stopping to just look at it. I admit, the final result looks gorgeous, much better than I expected. One thing I really enjoyed, the AI came up with these cat paw separators between sections, little thematic dividers that gave the page personality. They looked great in the preview. Remember this detail, it becomes important later. When I was finally happy, I ran the /export product command. And then I waited and waited. 20 minutes later, it was still generating. I started to wonder if something broke. But no, the tokens were burning and it was just doing a lot of work. Eventually, it finished. The output contained generated components and pre-built prompts for implementer agents to follow. I didn't need to pick a methodology for implementation. The one-shot prompt had everything covered. Well, almost. For implementation, I created a fresh Next.js project. I initially wanted Astro, but Design OS generates only React components for now. I decided to keep it smooth. I pasted the exported product plan folder, my initial spec, fed it to Claude Code and asked it to follow the one-shot prompt. The context was massive. Midway through, I saw the autocompact kick in, burning tokens like crazy, but it kept going. The output was far from perfect. Some things went missing. Remember those paw separators I mentioned? The ones I carefully placed between sections? All of them got lost in the export. The archive also didn't include images. I noticed that from the start and pasted them manually into the public folder, but the implementer agent deleted them, so I carried them over again along with the missing components. Including graphical assets would be nice in the future versions. The good thing? My initial Design OS repo was always at hand. I could copy missing components, compare pages, and give precise instructions. One tip that helped a lot. Cursor's built-in browser has this element selector feature. You click the arrow, click over any element, and it immediately passes a pointer to that element to the chat with agents. I used it constantly to refine paddings and margins. Much faster than digging through DevTools and applying CSS classes manually. It took time to make it perfect again, but that was fine. I took additional steps like optimizing images. Eventually, I was pretty happy with the results. Let me explain what's under the hood. At the core of the generation lies the front-end design skill borrowed from Anthropic's Claude Code plugins. It emphasizes building marvelous designs, not generic AI slop. The skill explicitly tells Claude to pick bold aesthetic directions. Use unexpected fonts, create distinctive color palettes, avoid inter, avoid purple gradients on white, avoid cookie cutter patterns. Then there are slash commands. They generate markdown files to keep state and track progress. Finally, there is a React app for progress tracking and page previewing. You started with npm run dev. It shows different viewport sizes: mobile, tablet, desktop. The app reloads every time sections or shell change. One tip: restart the dev server every time you add a new design section. It doesn't always render right on hot reload. What initially looks sloppy may change drastically after a restart. I think Vite doesn't pick up all new files on the fly. You can navigate the dev app yourself or ask the agent for preview links. Just be aware, there is a small bug in the project. The Vite config overrides the default port, so the agent suggests 5173, while the server actually runs on 3000. Easy fix, just remove the port override from the config. Given this is the very first version of Design OS, not even V1, I'm impressed. Yes, partially it was a success because I nagged it constantly, but the framework did solid groundwork. I probably wouldn't have found the front-end design skill on my own. Without it, the designs wouldn't be this polished. I'll admit directly, I wasn't looking for alternative AI design tools. There must be some competitors. I picked Design OS because it hit my newsfeed first. But if your choice is between Design OS and bare Claude Code, Design OS delivers much better output. The current set of reusable tokens is limited. I noticed titles with different font sizes all over. The one-page view made this obvious. I kept prompting Claude to extract fonts into title components and reuse them. It would be good to generate design system primitives at the start. Buttons, typography, spacing, then reuse them across screens. Each time you add something new, add it to the design system first. I hope this comes in the future iterations. Another thing, framework limitations. While Next.js, React, and Tailwind have become the de facto stack, more options would be nice. Many people like Svelte, probably Vue. I even heard Angular might still be a thing. Given the wide list of AI tools other methodologies support, I assume broader support should come first. Cursor, Anti-Gravity, Gemini CLI, Codex. Many methodologies I reviewed support all of them, but since my personal choice of Claude Code matched the author's choice, I'm happy with the current state. One thing did cross my mind. As more people use tools like this, will all AI-generated websites start looking the same? You know that feeling when you land on a page and immediately think, this was made with AI. I wonder if we're heading there. Then again, the front-end design skill explicitly fights against that. Time will tell. Here's the single-page website I built. It's live at thegreycat.com. Let me reiterate, it took time to prepare initial specifications before touching Design OS. But would it look this good with just Claude Code? Absolutely not. The overhead was definitely worth it. I also recognize the tool design itself, powered by AI, keeping state in markdown files, using slash commands to achieve results. Add custom skills and instructions in Claude.md and you have a recipe for building powerful tools for anything. You could build a CV constructor, a YouTube video script builder, a novel outline generator. I haven't googled those yet, but I'm sure there are battle-proven Claude skills for these tasks already. With a tool like this, you can build far more complicated and guided workflows than a simple skill alone. This blueprint offers possibilities for future tool builders. I'm excited to review whatever awesomeness comes next. So that's it. Along with the Greycat website, I'm launching a Discord server. It's almost empty now, but if you feel like chatting with fellow builders, please join. I'm sure we'll have a small cozy community there soon. I'm also launching a mailing list. Subscribe at thegreycat.com. I'll occasionally share experiences and discoveries from the passing week. And of course, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, your cat probably already knows which design tool is the best.